321 Continuous Time Linear Systems for the Spring 2022 semester. I'm John Buck, the professor for the class. In this video, I'm going to go over the main points or summarize the highlights of the syllabus. I strongly encourage you to read the syllabus on your own before the first class. There will be a readiness assessment test or RAT before the first class to encourage you to go over the syllabus to make sure you understand the ground rules. So I'm now going to pause here and switch over to PowerPoint to go over the main points. Okay, so one of the main points is to start with is to acknowledge we are still in the middle of a long-term pandemic. So there are some COVID-19 policies and procedures that are different from a run-of-the-mill semester. First and foremost, all caps, bold, red. If you feel sick or have symptoms consistent with COVID, stay home and get tested. If you have a positive test, isolate for 5 days, and then the 5 days after that you should wear a mask. This is based on the current CDC guidelines. So don't feel like you need to come to class if you're sick. It doesn't matter if it's an exam or what. I can work with you to reschedule exams, reschedule homework assignments. The most important thing is to take care of yourself and to take care of the other students in the class by not bringing COVID to school. So that brings us to the second point, also really important and in red, that all deadlines can be extended for students with pandemic issues. If you are sick, if you have family members who are sick that need you to take care of them, just talk to me about it and we can work on getting you extra time to finish assignments. I want you to learn the material, which means doing the work to the extent possible. That said, sometimes if you've gotten most of the work done, you've made a good effort, sometimes the best thing is to hand in what you have, move on, review the solutions to learn the things you didn't get to, and go forward. But if it's been a week where you just haven't had any time to work on it all because you're sick, because you have family members that are sick, then we can work with extended deadlines so that you get some time to work on the material. I will do my best to make all class materials and try to have recordings of class available on my courses for students who miss class due to pandemic issues. The room we're in, Senge 212, does not have lecture capture, so it's not. I'm going to probably have to try to record it with my laptop or iPad or something like that, which will be not great, but better than nothing. But I will have certainly all the whiteboard materials, all the class handouts on my courses like I had in ECE 320 last term. Again, university policy, all instructors and students must be vaccinated and boosted to the extent they're eligible before the semester starts. All instructors and students must have a COVID test before returning to campus. As I record this for you, I had mine yesterday, waiting on the results. But again, if you haven't done that already, there are links in the syllabus telling you where you can sign up for that, and how to upload your vaccination status documentation. All instructors and students must wear a mask covering their nose and mouth, same as last semester. And sort of following up to the first point, if I happen to test positive or remain asymptomatic, we're going to shift to an online class until I complete the safe isolation period and can come back to campus without endangering you. So hopefully, given that I'm vaccinated and boosted, if I do catch COVID, I won't be very sick, I'm hoping. And so I'll try to keep the class moving as an online class until it is safe for me to return to campus. So those are all the important COVID policies. Moving to other basic policies. There we go. Again, reminding you all students are required to wear masks covering their mouth and nose in all class meetings. The class meets Tuesday and Thursday at 9:30. The format will be problem solving from a worksheet and discussions about videos and reading material before class. Again, if you are healthy, I expect everyone to attend and participate as much as possible, but I understand that the new normal in the pandemic does mean people have unexpected emergencies and stuff comes up from time to time, and I'll say more about that in a minute. There will be recitations where the TA, Dylan Tossi, hosts additional problem solving and examples. If you attend at least 7 of the recitations, you can get extra credit on your homework grade. And again, we're very lucky this semester to have support to run active tutoring in the evenings. Christopher Gravel will again be running these sessions in the evenings where you can get extra credit on your homework if you solve 7 or more, finish 7 or more of the worksheets for those. My office hours right now are scheduled to be Tuesday, Thursday, right after class at 11. And then 1 o'clock on Mondays will be an online one that will be recorded on Zoom and posted. Dylan will also have office hours, but we're still working to get those scheduled. I'll send info through my courses as soon as we know. So the basic meeting that we'll repeat for class cycles is before the class you need to read the textbook and watch the video while taking notes. This is just part of good technical practice. I do this myself. Still when I read things, I'm making notes to help myself understand better. After you do that, there are two important things before class. You need to complete a readiness assessment test, or a RAT, that will be on my courses at least a day ahead. And you need to scan the notes you took from the videos and reading and upload them. For those of you that recently had me in 320, the bad news for 321 is I don't have a giant library of videos. I will be recording things as much as I can, but I'm not going to, in one semester, make up for the videos that I've spent 4 or 5 or 6 semesters recording in ECE 320. So I will have some videos, but there's going to be some things you need to read. The other thing before class you need to do is download the worksheet for each day's class from my courses. We'll start class in what should be a familiar rhythm. We will review the Read It Readiness Assessment test. And then we'll work mainly on solving the worksheet problems that examine the material for that day's class in small groups, 2s or 3s, while Dylan and I move around the room answering your questions. We'll pause and discuss the problems as a class, discuss at the start things that come up from the RAT or from the videos or reading, and just repeat that cycle for 75 minutes each day. After class each day, you need to submit your answers to the class problems by scanning them as a PDF and upload them on my courses before midnight. And these are graded mainly for effort. It's just to get you engaged, get you working with the material. Basically, if it were a fitness thing, getting the reps in to get you ready to build those mathematical muscles and those linear system muscles. There are a bunch of assignments in the class. As I already mentioned, the class problems and notes from the videos and reading. Recognizing that stuff comes up even without COVID and people are going to miss classes from time to time. You can miss 2 classes because your 2 lowest grades from the class problems, and I should say the RATs, get dropped for the semester. So you can miss 2 classes without any penalty. I would always like to appreciate knowing if you're going to miss class, if you can send me email. But even if you can't, don't worry about that. If serious illness means you're going to miss more than 2 classes, you should definitely be talking to me and working on extended deadlines and how you're going to make up the work. So, but if it's just 1 class here or there, you don't need to stress about it. The homeworks will basically be weekly. Again, you automatically can have 1 free extension even without COVID stuff just because you're having a bad week. You can have more if you're sick or family members are sick. I'm going to keep saying that because last semester not everybody heard me. So again, you can have additional extensions if you get sick or if you need to take care of people that are sick. Many of the problems on the homeworks are old quiz problems. Most of the grades on the written homework is for effort. Again, make mistakes and learn from your mistakes while they're cheap so you're ready for the exam. Again, we're going to have video problems this term. You're going to talk me through your solution. I think most of you know what those are, but if you have questions, we can go over it. And again, there'll be a short essay on a reflection question. We're going to try to raise the bar on that this semester, get people to be a little more reflective and not just a laundry list of what the homework was about, but actually think about what you learned and what you're still confused about. And as the semester goes on, we'll have review problems. As we get into problem sets 3, 4, and 5, there'll be occasional problems reaching back from earlier in the class to review. We'll have 3 MATLAB projects based on real-world applications. There are 2 exams during the semester, one on Thursday, February 17th, the other on Thursday, March 31st. Important new point here, I probably should have put it in red. If there are retests after the exam, they'll be held in the morning before class. There's no guarantee there's a retest. Don't assume there's going to be one and not study for the first test. And this is the other important change. You are only going to be allowed to take the retest if you have completed most of the homework for the exam in question. So for example, if exam 1 covers problem sets 1 to 3, you need to have completed at least 2 of those 3 problem sets to be eligible for the retest. Basically, if I'm going to do extra work to write an exam, an extra retest, and grade it, spend the time to grade it, I want you guys to have skin in the game and have made an effort on the homework. So that's going to be a new requirement to taking retests. They're not automatically eligible unless you're keeping up on the homework. The final exam is Tuesday the 3rd of May at 8 a.m. So that will be at the end of the semester. Again, my communication plan, very similar to ECE 320, which I know almost everybody here had with me. There's a discussion forum on my courses. You can put your questions there about the homework, MATLAB projects, other topics. You can email me if you have personal issues about health issues, like the pandemic, for example. If you need extensions, you can email me that way. But if you email me saying, hey, I tried to do problem 4 this way and I got stuck, or I did this and MATLAB keeps giving me an error, I'm probably going to take what you sent me and just copy and paste it into the discussion anyways, because if you have that question, other people may be learning from it. And my courses, again, it'll be your main site. All the assignments will be found there. All the class materials like class problems, all the whiteboard after class. I'll upload the PDFs from the Smart Whiteboard there, all the handouts. And then that's where you'll be submitting all your assignments. Your readiness assessment test is there. Your notes, your scanned notes will be uploaded there. Your scanned class problems on my courses. Homeworks, my courses. MATLABs, my courses. You sense a theme here, right? Everything is going to be submitted through my courses except the actual in-class exams. The grading breakdown, 30% are the 2 exams, 15% each. 30% for the final exam, 15% for weekly homeworks, 15% for MATLAB projects, and then a 10% participation grade that is a lot of those things like the RATs, the notes, the scanned notes, the in-class problems, to just say, are you steadily engaged in the class? Grading standards, there is no curve or scaling in the grading of this class. The numbers you're getting during the term will tell you where you're at. If you're getting 90s of some form, you're on flavor for an A, or on course for an A of some flavor. 80s, B, 70s, C, 60s, D, below 60, you're in trouble. You're failing the class. So don't assume there's going to be some magical curve that comes in and saves your bacon at the end of the semester. Again, I mentioned earlier, homework, I don't want you to make mistakes, but I would rather, if you're going to make mistakes, feel free to make it on the homework. That's why it's not worth a lot of points. Make your mistakes while they're cheap. You can learn from them, go back, look at the solutions, bring homework to office hours, or ask Christopher or Dylan questions, and get your mistakes sorted out based on that. So use that as feedback to sort of check what you understand and what you still need to work on, not as a way to go off and get, use a solutions manual to hand it in. Again, homework is like practice. If this was a play or a musical thing, those are the practice. The exams are the day of the performance. Or if you like a sports metaphor, the exams are the game time or show time, right? So spend, if you want to work on all these things out in homework for practice. And to encourage you that, and also so you're not penalized too much by making mistakes, I will do my usual consistency check. Each exam will have some problems that are very similar to the homework problem, and I will look at your scores on those in the similar homework problems. If the exam problem is much better than the homework problem, which means you're doing stuff the right way. On this sort of scatter plot, we've got homework here, quiz here. If you're at this point where you're getting low homework scores on the problems, but you're doing well in the quiz because you went away, looked at what you got wrong, figured it out, and learned it better, so you're prepared for the exam. At the end of the semester, I'm going to raise your homework average for all the problems. I'm going to take this as evidence that even if you have a low homework average, that's because you were doing things the right way, and I'm going to boost it up so doing homework the right way won't cost you much. It's not worth much to begin with, and it'll cost you even less when you get this boost for doing better. On the other hand, if you're getting like perfect grades on all the homework, and you're down here in this corner, but then you get it wrong when it shows up on the quizzes, then I know I have to think you're not really doing your own work and you don't really understand it. Whether you're getting help from a friend but not understanding it, going to Chegg or a solutions manual, I'm not going to worry about figuring it out, but I will tell you your homework score will be reduced for the whole semester. So you will be the unhappy double frowny face down here in the corner. If these things are basically consistent, you'll be fine and I won't change your scores. I mean, hopefully you're at least here or up, that you're doing decently on the homework and getting better. But if you're not, you should certainly be using the solutions and office hours and other resources to boost things up so you can be the smiley face in the upper left-hand corner when the semester ends. Which brings me to academic integrity. I want you to collaborate. Engineers work together all the time, but we work together to understand things ourselves. So you must write up your own solutions independently. You must not hand in anything you don't understand. Also, part of good engineering practice is giving credit to your collaborators. You don't just hand in a big project report in industry and put your name on the top and leave everybody else out. You identify your collaborators. So when you work together, the top of each assignment should say, I worked on this problem with Fred or with Jim or whoever. Give me first name and last name of people in the class. For MATLAB projects, again, you can talk about things, but you cannot share code. You cannot share figures. You cannot share files with other groups. Sharing includes taking pictures of other people's screens as well as emailing them. I am not an expert on the legal processes of academic integrity. So for that reason, if there are violations or suspected violations, I hand it off to the experts, which are the people in student affairs. So I'm not going to be talking to you about the issue. I'm just going to say, I'm going to write it up and report it to student affairs. But again, to be explicitly clear, all the following are prohibited. Using a copy of the solutions manual, using old solutions for the course. Probably not a challenge here because I haven't taught this class since 2010, so there probably aren't a lot of my old solutions available. But using sites like Chegg or other sites is a violation of academic integrity. And copying work from others, but that you could not explain to me if it was a video problem, for example, or if I asked you to come to my office and explain your homework, how you solve this problem, and you can't explain it, that you shouldn't be handing it in. The first violation on a homework or MATLAB is you get a 0 for that whole assignment, not just that problem, but the whole MATLAB project, or the whole problem set 3 or whatever it is, with no makeup, and your grade for the whole course is down 1 letter grade. So that first violation will already cost you more than you probably could have made up if you had done that for every assignment for the whole semester. Second violation is an F in the class, and every violation on an exam is an F in the class. I hope this is the last time we need to discuss academic integrity this term. I really would prefer that everyone get engaged in the class, do things honestly and well to the best of their ability, and then work to learn from there. Okay, so that's the end of the slideshow on the overview of the syllabus. I will see everybody on Tuesday. Talk to you then. Bye.